Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
This will be our third session on special needs teaching. And today I will be focusing on how to adapt teaching materials to use with children with special needs. First, we need to understand what special needs actually is. Special needs children are the way that they are due to hereditary or environmental causes. Hereditary factors includes genetics, and actually whoever a person with ADHD or autism, if you do a close family history, you will most likely find someone who actually has the same disability. Environmental factors are different. Hereditary means it's already in your genes. Environmental factors actually is something that happened while the baby was a fetus in the womb. If the mother takes alcohol, all right, by right, she should stop drinking once she knows she's pregnant. But if she doesn't and she continues drinking heavily, the child, the fetus that is born, all right, will have a fetal alcohol syndrome. Actually, the baby is born addicted to alcohol, and that alcohol also affects some of the functioning of his body. Now, a disability is a condition that prevents, delays, or interferes with a child's normal achievement and normal developmental milestones. A disability can be categorized under, firstly, developmental, then learning, physical, and sensory. All right. Generally, as teachers in schools, we normally will see that children who are ADHD, okay, and also autism. If a child has a developmental disability, meaning that by definitely 3 years old should be able to speak, cannot speak, is not reaching its language developmental milestones, then the thing that needs to be done actually is to start the child on speech therapy. Or in class, even though we are not speech therapists, there are materials that we can use to help the child to produce language. Children who have some developmental delay, another area is attention span. Okay. Actually, as kindergarten teachers, we're supposed to help the children to what? Stretch their attention span so that by year 1, they can actually sit down. All right. Not for 1 hour, sit down for 10, 15 minutes and focus. Yep. Learning self-help skills. We need to help them to learn how to, for example, brush their teeth, dress up. Okay. Next will be we need to also help them to learn and also to master. It means they can do some basic concepts. So, color, basic numbers, numeracy. Okay. Learning disabilities is a learning disorder. It is either the child cannot understand spoken language or does not understand written language, or, all right, is not able to speak. Okay, a learning disability. So there is actually overlap between learning disabilities and developmental. So if we are looking at a child, okay, who presents some symptoms of autism, a number of them don't speak. Okay, so their disability will be what? Not using spoken language. When you try and talk to them to give instructions, they look at you. Apparently, they have difficulty with understanding spoken language. It's very important to teach spoken language because that is what a child and all of us use before we end up learning your ABCs, literacy, and writing. Now, a child with ADHD, no problem, may not have any problem at all with speaking, okay, with writing, but has difficulty with attention span. Now, a child with a learning disability may be unable to hear. The person is not deaf. It's just that not very good at catching what is being said, may not be able to think. Okay, if the child cannot think and all that, you're going to have, example, a problem with this. Sequencing 1 to 10, just for instance, sequencing A to Z, they cannot remember what's the next. I'll get teachers to say, we do it again and again, 5 times, 6 times. The child can do it, then tomorrow, they can't remember. They may be unable to speak. They may have problems with spelling, all right, and they may have problems doing numeracy. These are emotional and behavioral disorders. I think we are having more and more of this in kindergartens. We have children who are very aggressive, will shout, will push others, even hit others. Okay, then the opposite, quiet, very anxious, very worried. Okay, but suddenly what? Get so anxious, not able to express, start to cry. Okay, and then may always come and stand next to the teacher. Why? Fearful. All right, but also not good at expressing it. Okay, physical disabilities I won't focus on. This will be things like visual impairment and hearing impairment. There are children with communication disorders. Yeah, some children actually cannot speak properly. Okay, they cannot speak properly. Very difficult understanding them. Okay, and there are some who actually don't want to speak. Difficult. Okay, so what we need to do is every time the child actually says that something, immediately you reinforce. Good, you spoke so well. Please remember, I shared this, I think, in one of my previous talks. A child who cannot speak, correct, may be unable to speak because the muscles here, okay, are too weak. So we had a boy at seven, he couldn't speak properly. So the year 1 teachers asked the parents to send to GH for testing, and they found nothing wrong. Okay, the body, okay. So they didn't know what to do. So they sent the boy to Department of Child Psychiatry. My husband, Dr. checked. We don't see anything. So then what he did was that he sent the boy for assessment by Silviana Bonade, our special needs teacher, who is working through Penang Mental Health Association. What happened was, by accident, Sylvian found out that this boy, since, okay, literally baby, he has been eating porridge. He had milk, then he changed to porridge. At the age of 7, he was still eating porridge. And that is when Sylvian suddenly realized what was wrong, why he couldn't speak, couldn't make clear sounds, because his muscles here are very weak. So in order to get him to talk, Sylvian had to what? To give exercises. And also to get him to start eating, all right, food other than porridge. So I still remember her telling, Indranee, okay, guess what he likes to eat? French fries. I said, like all children, yes. Usually I don't recommend French fries, but for this boy it works, so he would eat French fries. All right, to strengthen the muscle. He could speak after that. Okay, if you are going to work with children with disabilities, okay, there are 3 strategies that you need to remember. 1, behavior modification. 2, multisensory teaching. And 3, task analysis. And when I was talking about behavior management, okay, I also talked about behavior modification. So you want to change the behavior. All right. So instead of all the children shouting out all the answers, not acceptable. So I do. I teach them the signal. When I put my hand up like this, all of you put your hand up and look at me and Why am I doing this? So I don't have to shout to be heard. Up, everybody here. Thank you. You may put your hands down. There's one behavior modification. Multi-sensory teaching. You teach, all right, using what? All the five senses. What they can see, what they can hear, what they can smell, what they can touch, and maybe taste. All right. So when it comes to especially the alphabet, different ways of working with the alphabet using multi-sensory teaching will be number one. Okay. Montessori is very good at this. You know the letters made of sandpaper so that the child can feel. Okay. You can use a sand tray, a corn flour tray, or a salt tray. Okay, and put the cards, the letters of the alphabet, one card at a time. They take and then they copy. All right, they draw it on the sand, on the salt, or on the corn flour. All right, when they are quite they have done it quite some time already, maybe a week or more. What you do now is that you get them to hold something, okay, and then they use that to continue drawing. Yeah. Give them Play-Doh. Okay, give them Play-Doh. All right, and they use the Play-Doh, they roll it like a snake, and they pinch it off and use that to make the letters of the alphabet. So you see, touching, if you have sandpaper, touching the sandpaper, touching flour, all right, and then squeezing with Play-Doh. Your Play-Doh, if you wanted to keep, okay, please put a few drops of any essential oil. Okay, after using it, put it back, put in the fridge. Okay, the essential oil actually keeps it fresh longer, and the essential oil also does something else, the sense of smell. Okay, then multi-sensory teaching, sing your ABC song or some other song. By the way, for children who are having difficulty trying to memorize A to Z, you can actually just what? Just get some tuner and then you just sing maybe A, B, C, D, 4 or 5 letters at a time you teach. Okay. Task analysis. Okay, task analysis, I'm going to show you. Yeah. This is example of task analysis. Washing hands, because of COVID, all of us taught our children very well. Okay. Now, so basically what you want to do is this. You want to break down one task. Okay, you break one big task, you break it down to small bits. Yep. So for washing hands first, wet your hands. After that, put the soap. So you should go step by step. Now you notice that there's even a schedule that they use to help the children get dressed. Okay. So the child, this will be in school, this will be in their home, next to where the clothes closet is. So they have all your drawers, so they have a look. First, in the morning, you get up, you take off your clothes. You put your underwear on, then put your shirt on, pull your pants up, then you put on your socks and put on your shoes. All right? If not, what usually happens is that children have difficulty getting dressed. You know what happened? They may put on the shoes first. Once they put on the shoes first, they cannot get the pants on. Then they get upset when the parents ask them to, all right, remove the shoes. All right. Another way, this is a morning schedule. Okay. We start with this one. Walk into the class. You walk into the classroom. Okay. Then you unzip your backpack. You take your folder out. You put the folder in the basket. Now listen, this is, you know what? This is the communication book or communication folder of the parents. So it goes back and forth to school and the student is in charge of it. They will put it in the basket. Then before going home, there will be another routine. They will take the folder and put it in their bag. So put your folder in the basket, take your lunch box out and hang up your backpack. This I actually did in England with a year 1 class. All right. it doesn't mean when you use this kind of routines and with their visual cues, it doesn't mean that, oh, they are not special, they don't need. It's very useful to teach any children. Yeah. Okay, morning schedule. This one doesn't have the walk into class. Put away your backpack, you hang up your coat, take your folder out, put the folder in the tub, okay? Put on your shoes, then go and sit in the cupboard. Because we always start circle time in front of the classroom on the carpet. Okay, then, all right, you can use this to keep track of how your students are feeling. Okay? Right. How do we teach positive behavior? Obviously, we don't want negative behavior. So how do we teach positive behavior so that we can what? All right, so that we can actually stop the negative behavior from happening. First of all, you must have rules. Okay? Or what you call classroom expectations. Okay? And that will be your rule. And your rule, okay, the class rules, you have to have a visual, not more than 5. Okay, not more than 5. So the most important would be, you may decide, I want the classrooms to focus on their behavior during lesson time. Okay, so you may decide looking eyes, listening ears, quiet feet, don't move. Okay, so that is one set of class rules. You can have another set for when they are sitting down doing their work with a partner. You can have another set of rules for sitting down and doing independent work. So every time before you give them, say, table work or seat work, okay, with another friend, you go through the seat work rules with the children so that they can remember. Okay, it's just like before they go out for a break, children, before you go out for the break, what should you do? Line up. Very good, Mary. Okay, where do we line up? At the back, near the door. Great job. You have very good memory. And then how do we line up? One by one, single file. Thank you, John. You have very good memory. Okay, and then what about your feet when you are walking out? Okay, we use walking feet, Miss No running. Wonderful. You remembered all your lining up rules. Okay, let's go. Line up. And we'll sing the lining up song. Line up, everybody line up. Okay. It's actually very good when you actually get them to sing when they are moving from one activity to the other, because they'll be so focused on the singing, all right, they will forget whatever other things that they should not be doing, and they'll just focus. Okay. Teaching positive, 1 minute. The classroom expect rules should be promoted or repeated every day until they know it by heart. So this is like 1 month every day. Okay. Teaching positive behavior part 2. The teacher needs to provide what? Verbal reinforcement. That's right, Peter. Well done. Okay. I like the way Sally and Mary are sitting on the carpet. Good job, girls. So what you need to do is this. When you provide verbal reinforcement, you must specifically state what is it you are praising them for. Oh, Peter, good. Mary, wonderful, excellent. And you don't know what it's about, no? So you must make sure that the child knows what he or she has done right. And by saying it, exactly the behavior that the child has done right, the other children will also learn and follow. Okay. Now, instead of verbal reinforcement, you may want to give stars. Okay. Whatever stickers. All right. And then you also provide verbal reinforcement when they behave the way that you, all right, you want them to. That means they meet your classroom expectations. Okay. The teacher generally does not reprimand. That means, why are you sitting down? Right. Peter, sit down. Thank you. Okay. Don't go and right, growl at them or use very negative words. Malaysians are pretty good at it. Ha, lari lagi, bagus nanti jatuh. Ha, lari. So actually the child is very confused. You want him to run or no, not. So you don't want him to run. Just say so. Jalan ya. So you tell, walk, please. Very good. I see walking feet. Great job, Peter. Right. Now, the way you arrange your classrooms, I was very lucky in England. Okay. My classroom is about at least four times this, what the picture there. All right. We had a lot of resources inside. What you actually need to do basically is there needs to be enough space for the children to walk without bumping into tables and chairs. Okay. Then, next issue is this. Where are we going to put our barang-barang? In England, there is a storeroom attached to each classroom. So actually, lots of, the art and craft things, all masuk dalam. All right. What you actually can do is this. You can consider, number one is, those plastic drawers, 3, 4, 5 high plastic drawers. You can actually, what you do is that you buy the plastic drawers which have wheels on it. Okay. So you can put materials there, and when you need to use it, you pull it in. Okay. You pull it in. You must label. Another thing that it can be done is, and I have actually done this for the teachers in my kindergarten, I have purchased these trolleys, metal, 3-tier, 1, 2, 3. It's about, the tray itself is maybe double. No, about 1.5 A4 paper size. All right. So what they do is, like, we actually have a what do you call it? Teaching resources room, and we've got shelves and all that. So the teacher pushes the trolley into the resource room and collects what she wants to use, takes it off to the class. So what can be done actually is, because it has 3 tiers, you can put materials for 3 different lessons there, or 3 subjects. Okay. It is actually sold. I first saw it in IKEA. I think it was 129 ringgit. But then I found out that Lazada, okay, has an even better one. It's almost exactly the same as the IKEA one, but guess what? It folds, and when it folds, it's only this thin. So what you can do is you can Google for foldable metal trolley on Lazada. Foldable metal trolley. The last time I purchased it was about what, 49.90, I think. 49.90 or 59.90 compared to IKEA's 129. Okay, so foldable metal trolley, 3-tier. This is a very good idea to put the artwork here, hanging it up on the what do you call that, on a string. This it really saves space, and the children like it. Okay, now when you want, all right, to do behavior intervention, that means you want to go and change the child's behavior or modify the behavior. Okay, what happens is that, first of all, okay, you need to discuss with the teachers, all right, and then identify what the issue, what is the problem behavior. Once you know the problem behavior, you all discuss how you are going to intervene, means what is it that you're going to do. This boy cannot pay attention. Okay, one intervention will be put him sitting in front of the teacher. So that's one intervention. All right. So then, okay, you need to keep record. So what happens is that you can do a timed recording. You need to put an alarm for every 10 minutes. All right. Every 10 minutes, it will ring. Every 10 minutes, you look at the boy. What is he doing? Okay. So the first 10 minutes, he's doing work. The next 10 minutes, oh, he's looking around. Okay. Then after that, it escalates. So the next 10 minutes, he's starting to what? Disturb the girl next to him by poking her and all that. So then what happens, if you notice, is this boy appears to only be able to focus the first 5 to 10 minutes. After that, all right, he is distracted. So with the documentation, you can see. So what you do after that? Okay, what can we do so that after 10 minutes, okay, as is beginning to get distracted, what can we do to stop that? So, okay, the teacher will observe. After 10 minutes, okay, the teacher will ask him to come over. All right, can you please ask him to do a task? Then he gets to walk. See, this hyperactive child, okay, pass it to you. Then you ask him to sit down, okay, carry on the work. Because he walk, he's okay. Then you know that within the next 10 minutes, he's going to get distracted. Now you got to figure out something else to do. Okay, so what are you going to do every 10 minutes to keep this boy on task? So you observe. Once you start, giving him things to do, you observe. Okay, it's good. Okay, much better. He's able to concentrate more. All right, then you review. Okay, do we need to do more? Okay, modification, or is this okay? Then we'll move on to something else. All right. So one thing is that when you are monitoring and then reviewing, okay, the issue is that you still have to what? Keep an eye on him every 10 minutes. Is there some way? Okay, is there some way we can what's that called? Replace the teacher's monitoring? Can we do something else? Ta-da! Work with another child. Okay, now this boy is hyper, so when you want to find him a partner to work with, please don't get another chatty, very hyper one. You need to look for one who's quite calm. Okay, and then get them to work together. And you observe, when he works with a friend, okay, 15 minutes, no problem. So now you know, looks like pair work is good for him. Okay, then you try something else. I am wondering whether, all right, doing worksheets is what? Not captivating him. Very dull. Okay, and that is why 10 minutes or so he'll look around. Okay, let's see what we can do about it. So instead of doing worksheet, you give an activity. And then now you discover that, okay, he can focus 15, 20 minutes. All right, I will show you later what are the activities. So one thing to remember is this. If you want children to be focused on learning, okay, activity should be first. Worksheet is only for review. So do not put your teaching resource as 5 worksheets. All right. Okay. Now, in your classroom, you can teach the entire class, or you can teach small groups. And then for the children, all right, with some special needs, you give them differentiated instruction, one at a time. Okay. Now, When you have a child with special needs and you're doing direct instruction to an entire class like this teacher here, please put the child with special needs next to you. Okay? The advantage is when she's next to you, when the child is next to you, you can what? Pat him on the shoulder when you see him starting to look around. Oh, there he is. Okay? Then he starts to want to look and all that. Peter. Yeah. You say name Peter? Okay, yeah. All right. So you see this way, you don't have to keep Peter. No. Peter, sit down. Peter, please keep your hands on your lap. So you don't have to say that. You put the child next to you. Right. Differentiated instruction will mean that that child, all right, is not going to be able to learn, not able to capture what you're teaching the whole group. So after you've taught the whole group, you take the child out for differentiated instruction. One thing that we in England they like to do is you teach the whole class phonics, and then after that, the ones who are having some difficulty, okay, and by the way, the children who have some difficulty with phonics could actually be what? The youngest children in class. Now, what do I mean? If you're born in the year 2000, okay, a child is born in the year 2000 should be 3 years old now. But some children are born in January, others February, March, April, and you may even have children born in December. So the October, November, December children, okay, cognitively, their thinking has not developed so much. So they may be slower and they may appear to be more childish. It's because their developmental milestones have not been reached, and it's just because of the timing. Okay. Now, I am not sure whether you all know, but a child who is born, I think up to January 6th, okay, a child who is born, okay, January 1, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all right, the parents can request that they join school for those born in 2019. That means they join ahead. I normally discourage that. Okay, I normally discourage that because the child actually, all right, is not ready. All right. So if there are children who seem to be very slow, you go and check the date of birth, and then you may have to what? When you teach, you have to slow down and you have to teach a bit at a time. So your situation is like this. You are teaching, let's say you're teaching a child 5 years old. Okay. And there will be a difference between born in January and born in December, October, November, December. Then you've got another child born, all right, in January between the 1st to the 6th who wants to come into this class. All right. So no, you can't just push the learning in. They need to be ready. All right. That brain must be ready for it. Right. How can you modify your instruction to accommodate special needs children? Right. If you discover that the child has a problem with attention, like I told you about this boy, all right, so every 10 minutes or so, okay, we need to help him focus again. We also have children, I said, cannot remember A to Z. That's okay. You just divide it. A, B, C, D, E is one, okay, one lot. Then F, G, H, I, another lot. So you teach in chunks. It will be easier for the child. Okay. Concept development. Sometimes the children, okay, have some difficulty. For example, you may teach them life cycle of a seed, a plant. Then you teach them the life cycle of a chicken. Then life cycle of, say, a cat. Okay. They may not be able to connect the fact that all these that all right, have life cycles are actually what? animals, and animals are animals, okay? And they don't quite see that, you see. So what you need to do is after you've taught the three, okay, link it back together. You see, all of them grow. Why do they grow? Because they're all living things. So bring it in. Another concept problem will be actually our number concept, okay, numeracy. And numeracy is actually not that easy, because what you need to know is this. 2. First, you need to know this number 2 means there are two things. Okay. Then you must also know that the name, the way you say it is 2. Then, you must be able to write it as well. TWO. So it's actually quite a lot of things coming together. All right. Functional use of objects and symbolic play. Playing with a dollhouse, playing, all right, kitchen play, all right, all these are part of the children's discovering and learning. So while they're pretending to cook, okay, they are copying what they see your mom doing at home, and actually they're learning life skills. Pre-vocabulary and vocabulary. You may need to what? Make your sentences, make your words simpler, especially if you've got a foreign student or you have a student with, say, autism. So slower and less words. Okay, so don't do this. Sarah has autism. Sarah, what did I say just now? Can you please sit down? Huh? Cannot. Okay, children with autism, a number of them have this language issue. So Sarah, sit down. That's it. Okay, Sarah, sit down. And for children with autism, especially those who don't talk or talk very little, and you want to get them to talk, this is what you do. Okay, so if I'm teaching, all right, I pick up Sarah, comb, comb, comb. Sarah, okay, bag, bag, bag. Repeat 3 times. Okay, then you want to test, isn't it? Sarah, what is this? Sarah, what is this? No sound. So how are you going to assess whether she understands or not? Sarah, give me the bag. Give me the bag. And you discover, okay, she has learned some vocabulary. So instead of asking her to say, what do you do instead? You get her to listen and do something for you. Okay, so change your assessment. Self-direction is very important. You want the children to learn how to what? Actually, what you're doing is this. You are actually teaching children, okay, to grow up to be responsible adults. Okay, you're teaching them to grow up to become responsible adults. In order to do that, they must be able to what? Regulate their emotions, and they must also be able to what? They need to what? They need to be able to monitor, schedule themselves. This activity after this, okay? You are not going to have mommy or the teacher chasing after you to remind you all the time. So we teach self-direction, okay? Okay, accommodations versus modifications. Okay, accommodation will change how, where, and when a student accesses information. But modification will change what the student is expected to learn. Okay? So, okay, accommodation is where, all right, a student will access information and demonstrate learning. Do not change the level of teaching or the level of instruction. Do not change the content. Do not change the assessment. Okay, that is accommodation. Modification is where you modify, you change what the child is expected to learn, and you also change the way of teaching and also the level of teaching. the content or performance criteria. What at the end of the year, what are they supposed to have achieved? What performance level? So looking at this, remember Sarah, I was teaching her bag and comb. Bag, 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 comb, comb, comb. Now, Sarah, what is this? She doesn't like to talk, or she's not very sure how to talk, or there's something blocking. All right. But that doesn't mean she doesn't know. So what do? I accommodate. I don't make it easier for her. But what I do is that, Sarah, can you point or can you give me the bag? Well done. Yes, this is the bag. So what you're just checking. So if you look at it, second bullet, change how a student assesses information and demonstrates learning. She demonstrated learning by picking the right object. Okay. Other students, okay, they demonstrate their learning by telling me verbal, right? So we are talking about children who are studying the same curriculum, the same thing, just that we have to change a little bit how that child communicates the learning. Okay. And also you may need to teach. Okay. Repeat another time or two. Okay. And like I said, your ABC, or you say the 1, 2, 3. Okay. What you do is that all the children are supposed to learn up to 20. This child is having difficulty because gets everything mixed up. So get her or get him to show you sequentially. Okay, put the cards or the numbers out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you find that 1 to 5 can. So the next round you're going to do 6 to 10, then 11 to 15. Okay. If the child is more able, then you do it in tens. 1 to 10, 11 to 20, then 30, 40. Okay. Now, modifications is when the child, okay, cannot learn what the other students are learning. Even when I try to change the bit, like 1 to 5, 6 to 10, the child is also unable. Okay, child is also unable. Then we will have to change the instruction. So other children are expected to learn 1 to 20. This child maybe is 1 to 5 only. All right. So as you all are teaching in kindergartens in Malaysia, we are all using the Malaysian Prasekolah curriculum. Okay. And that is the one that we follow. There is actually another curriculum, which is actually Malaysian preschool curriculum for pendidikan khas. I have actually shared it on the TCF teaching resources WhatsApp, so you can get it from there. Right. I would suggest you just keep to accommodations. Usually modifications, all right, these children who need that usually will go to a special school. Okay, and don't be surprised, a child of 12, okay, is not able to spell, can spell some words, but not able to spell, not able to write a short sentence. Why? Especially if they're, okay, they have low IQ. 100 is normal. If you're below 70, we have problems. So if they honestly have low IQ, actually it is better to teach them life skills. Okay, life skills. So teach them, all right, how to make a bed, make a sandwich. Okay, older, make sure they know how to take a bus. That is how yeah, I mean it's done overseas. And then after that, when they're older, the Department of Welfare in UK will actually try to get some of these by then, they're about 16, 17, these are teens, okay? Try and get them a job, and then give them a place to stay. So you have about four staying in one council house or one flat. And welfare officer goes to check. All right. So those are the ones usually who need to have modifications. And like I said, if you have a child like that in your kindergarten, it would be good for you and the student, all right, that the student actually goes to a special needs school. In under the Ministry of Education, okay, all children are entitled to register in year 1 of a Kebangsaan school or Chinese school or Tamil school. All right. Then after that, they will pick up that this child has special needs. The teachers will ask the parents to take to see a pediatrician or a child psychiatrist. Okay. Then unfortunately, our system sort of like gets jammed there. Okay. What happens is that it is up to the parents to take to see an occupational therapist. Why? Cannot hold pencil, okay, cannot hold fork and spoon properly. Then cannot speak properly. They have gone for a speech therapist. So what happens is that if the parents have the have the energy for it, they will go and see like 5 different professionals to help out. Okay. They are also available private, but private means every time you see will be 100 over, 200 over per visit. In Kuala Lumpur, I understand it's 300 to 400 per visit. So there are very few people, families who can afford 300 to 400 a week. So we count it as 4 times 4, 4 weeks, 400 times 4 weeks. So you can imagine that these children usually are not given the intervention and therapy that they need. Okay, now just say, let's look at accommodation. All right, presentation accommodation, that means speaking. Okay, what I've also done is this. Nowadays with phone is very easy. Help the child to write a short speech, then ask the child to go home, get the parents to help the child to record it, speak again and again until they're satisfied. And then all the other children, okay, will stand up and speak. This child will play his or her own audio clip. Okay. Then what else? I have another boy. He has very terrible vision. His glasses are so thick that his eyes are very big, like panda bear. Okay. When we give him notes, okay, or exam paper, the teacher has to put it at font size 20 for him to see. And we have to give him extra time because obviously it takes longer to read, isn't it? Okay, but it's amazing, the boy won't give up. Yeah. So we can provide large print, we can reduce the number of items per page or per line. So instead of giving children, one A4 page, 12 size font, a lot, like a report, you don't do that. Some children really have difficulty. So what you do is you can have 2 questions on one A4 sheet. All right. They don't get so anxious or stressed. When they suddenly see that there are 10 questions all the way down, they cannot tahan. All right. One thing that I have actually done is this. The paper, I fold it. So open the top flap, answer question 1. Then open the second, like a accordion. Okay. That helps. If not, what you do is put the paper there and give a piece of manila cardboard, you cut the size to cover the rest of the paper. Okay, so they focus only on one thing. All right. Then response accommodation. So instead of writing, let the child speak. Mine just now is the other way around. Okay. Allow for the answers to be dictated to a scribe. Scribe is the one who writes. So I've shared before that I was teaching a class of year 7 boys in England. All of them had special needs. Yeah. And especially this boy with dyslexia. Apparently his dyslexia was so terrible, when he looks at words and numbers, they dance or they can move. Obviously, he cannot read and write. So the Department of Education actually paid for an assistant to follow him around and to take notes and also to help him with homework. He tells, she writes. You may want to use the tape recorder. So there are some children who speak very soft, don't want to, they sort of they won't speak. So you can tell them, I can record your answers. Okay. What about seating? Not setting, seating accommodation. Right. Whenever you got children whom you have to do a seating plan for, always figure out who are your special needs children, and one more, the ones who are actually the youngest in class. They should be nearest to you. Okay. There is one other thing that I normally do. There will be one seat and table near me that is empty. All right. But when I need to do, a bit more extra work, I got to do a bit of, what do you call this? In differentiated learning, then the child will come and sit. Right. Providing lighting or acoustics. Actually, our fluorescent lights are not very good. Okay. There are actually, but that's what we have. So what you may need to do is to put an extra fluorescent light in your classroom to make it brighter. I had to do that last time. Okay, in the kindergarten. Right. Next, acoustics is this. Some children get very agitated when they hear sound, Their ears are sharper than ours. So you and I, like, the fan, the ceiling fan, you and I, okay, what? Is there much noise? Very little, right? Some cannot tahan. So either you got to move the child some other place, or the other thing is to what? Wear earplugs. Next, if a child is easily distracted, this child should actually be sitting in a place with minimal distractions. And this will be near me or next to me. Okay. Timing and scheduling accommodation. Special needs children, okay, will be given extra time, even for SPM and IGCSE exams, even university exams. But the parents have to apply for it, and they must always provide the doctor's report stating the child's diagnosis. He has autism, he has ADHD, whatever. You have to put it there. For Cambridge, you need to get that letter in 6 months ahead of exams. Okay? Once they agree, then your child usually will be given half an hour extra. Alternatively, your child, again, usually very distracted by sound and people moving and all that, then you can send in a request with the doctor's letter, send in a request for this child to be given a separate exam room. That can also be done. Okay. Then maybe other students have 3 days to finish this work. The child with special needs, you give 5 days. And other accommodation you can give is others are supposed to write a 500-word report. This child, okay, can be 300, or this child can send in a what? Verbal report. So they get you can get them recording it, or the parents can record the child actually presenting at home. Yeah. Okay, preschoolers with special needs. If we want to help them, all right. So what we do is, number one, we need to teach them social and emotional skills. They need to know their feelings, happy, sad, angry, Okay, and what they do when you're angry, you don't hit people. What do you do instead? Okay, we also need to teach them social skills or social relationships. Next, we need to teach, okay, or help them to acquire knowledge and skills, right? Basic knowledge and skills. So it will be early language, early literacy skills. Very important. And teach them appropriate behavior. Okay, appropriate behavior in the classroom, in the canteen, in the toilet, waiting for the car, at home, at the supermarket. All right, train them. Okay, I want to show you this. If you are running centers, what you can actually do is you can actually color code your centers. See, red, yellow, green, and orange. Now, these are what do you call it? Wooden pegs, clothes pegs. So you can actually put the children's names. Okay? You can actually put the children's names on it. Then after what you do, you move them. So from block center, they move to art. This helps the children to figure out where they're supposed to go because they can forget quite easily. It also helps us to remember where the kids are. Right. I am now going to talk about, I'm now going to show you what materials can be used by children with special needs. Now, task cards, okay? Just like we did task analysis, right? So in the morning, you wake up, 1, 2, 3, 4, what you're supposed to do. Okay, that actually helps the children to sequence, so they know what to do next. Now, you can use task cards for these children. And what you do is that you put the task cards and whatever materials that they need into a box and you label the box. So what is here? These are actually Play-Doh mats. Okay, so you put the cards in a task box. Then you also provide the what? You also provide the different colored Play-Doh. All right, the task cards actually are laminated. So they take it out, they take the Play-Doh, they roll, snake, then they pinch off and they start fixing it. Okay. So the child, all right, can access this material, this task on their own. You don't have to wait, I take this, everything is put nicely in a box. Okay. This is one I want to show teachers. We all have students who finish their work early, right? Okay. And I did say they finish their work early, don't torture them with what? More work. So what you can do is this, look, these are actually fun puzzles. The letter A, circle all the objects here which start with the letter A. This is quite fun. So these can be printed and laminated as well. Actually, if I would suggest that your best friend now will be the color photocopy machine, the lamination machine, and a good pair of kitchen scissors. Okay. If you have to cut laminated sheets, they're actually quite difficult to cut. I found the trick. Go and buy kitchen scissors from DIY or Daiso. Kitchen scissors do very well. And by the way, after a while, they get a bit, what do you call that? Blunt. Either you got to figure out a way of sharpening it, or you say bye-bye and get a new pair of scissors. Okay. Wait, did I? Okay. Aha. This is task cards, short A words. Okay. CVC is consonant, vowel, consonant. So here you have hat, sad, fan. Okay. Cat here. So again, all these are laminated. The cards are laminated. Then you give the children these. You can give them these plastic letters. And what do? They see HAT, so they go and get HAT plastic letters and put it on top here. Then what are they supposed to do? They got to go and figure out, okay, what the pictures here are. Okay, any other AT family? Then here, a plastic container. Inside the plastic container, you've got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, like long baskets. Usually, I think we put cutlery in them. What you have actually done is inside the container, there are different types of fruit. Then there is a picture of each type of fruit pasted, all right, inside the basket. So what does a child do? They will take a fruit from here, from inside the box, and put it in the right basket. Again, all right, work that children can do on their own. And you notice, these are not words, these are pictures of the fruit. This you can get Shopee and Lazada. Sometimes they sell these, these small erasers. You can use those, the small erasers, fruit erasers. Okay, what is this called? Again, task boxes. Okay, let's look here. Again, a plastic container and 3 bigger baskets. Inside the basket, you have big, medium, small. The words are there. The side, there's also black spots there to indicate the size. So in this, they have some figurines, human figurines. So the child will sort according to size. Of course, later on, you can actually get them to sort according to color as well. Yep. So here, task boxes. These are, you can create task boxes with what? Picture instructions. Okay. So basically, to complete this task, I will, you have to arrange what? All the plastic bowls. Okay. And you have to put the pom-poms here inside this, inside. Now, okay, that here, all right, what happens? You take all the pom-poms out and put them into the bowls. This one I cannot see very well. Okay, so I can't tell you this one. Again, this is clearer. Instructions. Open the box. It says, to complete this task, I will. So you have 2 sets. You've got colored cubes. Okay, and then you've got what? The instruction slip, the instruction guide. Take one, put it on the floor. Then take the cubes and put it on the pattern. Follow the colors. Another one, this one, this is actually quite, I like this also. You know why I like this one? It actually has this metal, what's that? Metal ring, so that all the instruction guides, all right, don't go all over the place. So I see 5 blocks, so the child has to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are even more task boxes. These are literacy task boxes. So give a marker pen, and then these are all laminated. They'll write the letters. Here, they learn opposites. This one, comparing numbers. You know what's here? Velcro. So you can, all the pieces that they can put in, put like Velcro. And I'm so happy to tell you this. You see this Velcro here? It's round. And you don't have to cut it round. Lazada and Shopee actually do sell, okay, round Velcro. You go and look for round Velcro or spot Velcro, you can do it. Yeah. One thing. Because there are many teachers and you all probably take turns to make the materials. Be very careful if you're using Velcro. Velcro has 2 sides, one, right? One is the woolly turn, the woolly one, and the other one is very flat. Yeah. So you have to do this. You have to tell everybody flat is always on the card. Okay? Flat is always on the task card. Then the other bits that you want to put on it, that will have the woolly. All right? Because if you don't set this, you're going to have some teachers putting it as they wish. Then suddenly, alamak, okay? The 2 cannot connect because both of them are the flat. So make sure you confirm with your teachers. Some more task boxes here, okay? Looks like comparison. This is pumpkin vocabulary. So what are the words? Pumpkin, all right? soil, etc. This is tracing shapes. Again, in boxes. Okay, these cards are laminated and they draw. I know it's maybe expensive in the beginning to laminate resources, but they last. Okay, but they last. Okay, sorry. Okay, now, oops. Okay, here, your other best friend is Mr. Daiso or Mr. DIY. So this you can buy. These are the ice cube trays. And what is the child supposed to do? Take the pom-poms and put it in the different uh, parts, different compartments of the ice cube tray. And you don't want them to use their hand. You want them to use that to put it in. So very good for fine motor skill development of the finger. Yeah. Right. This you can also put in, you laminate. So what the child will do is, all right, they will draw that pre-writing. I think my teachers have laminated like about 40 or 50 different ones. And they just take turns. The kids love it. Okay. I like this one. You are supposed to laminate and then you're supposed to match. So this is the giraffe's head. Okay. So what should we see? The body will be here and then we get the tail. Okay. These are the animals' heads and the animals' tails only. They're quite cute. So what you can actually do is you cut this and put it in the box. The children take it out, all right, and they match. Be careful. Some children, if you just put everything in, they cannot match. So what you may have to do is you may have to cut, laminate cut, then you put Velcro on everything. And, all right, put the picture of the head, put the picture of the head here, and then they Velcro here. Another set, they Velcro here. So what they were doing is they'll be matching the head, correct? This one you remove and you just Velcro it, and after they've done all the heads, they can put the tail. All right? To complete this task, what will I do? So you've got plates, colorful plates, and then these are pom-poms. In the beginning, all the pom-poms are in the middle. After that, what do you do? They sort the pom-poms according to color. And at the end, okay, when they finish the task, they will know they have finished the task when the middle is empty. Now I can see it. Right. Okay. You can use dominoes. So this will be the strip, and then they will put dominoes. My best friend Lazada or Shopee does sell what you're seeing here. You look for foam domino. Foam domino. These are bigger. It's not the small ones. Yeah. This is a very simple activity to create. You print this out and give the children colored, what do you call those? Colored ice cream sticks. Okay, and then they will make these shapes. There are two ways of doing this. One, if the children are actually more able, okay, normal IQ, you give them this in a small card, then they will take ice cream sticks and they will arrange. For children who need more support, what you do is that you resize this so that you can cut out each picture and it's big enough for the ice cream stick to go put on top of it. So they have the guide. Okay. Play-Doh task cards. Okay. You give the Play-Doh and then there's series. I can make a snake. I can, bend this and all. And then here the craft stick patterns. Okay. And these are big enough for them to put on the laminated sheet. This can also be put in the what do you call it? The box in the task box. Now, if you are the children are not so what do you call that? Have not really learned their colors yet. Identification of color is a problem. Then what you do is you arrange, you photocopy, laminate, cut, you arrange into Ziploc bags according to color. Okay? Then you just take out and you put. After that, what you do is one Ziploc bag, you mix two colors inside. Okay? Then another Ziploc bags, you add two other colors. And then finally, in the end, pour everything in. All right? So you're actually increasing the difficulty level. Okay. Laminate, cut. So these are all the orange items, and these are all the green objects. So you can mix it up, and then they will sort. This is very cute. The heart with circles inside. Okay, cut out and laminate. Right. You have all these pencil. You're supposed to print it, and then you cut. Yep. So this is capital letter and small letter together. If I am starting to teach the children, I will start with this because it's very, very clear. Okay, this one can be for a slightly, higher level. I like this also, and my students love this. Match the ice cream to the cone. Okay, cones are small letters, and the ice cream, the scoop of ice cream is big letters. These are different apples cut in half, match. Right. This, you have all these pictures here. They are supposed to sort them according to color. This is fruit. Okay. Shape and shapes. This one you sort the car, so they have to sort it out as yellow, red, and green. Here, okay. Oops, sorry. Here will be according to the shape and color. Okay. This, the children, you laminate, the children get to write number 3. And then, all right, you can get them to cut it out. All right. But if you're going to get it cut out, you can't laminate. That means it's like a worksheet. Alternatively, I've changed this into an activity. So my teachers cut out all the fruits. So when they open the box, they look at the number 3, then they get the 3 apples and they put the 3 apples on the tree, then they write, okay, number 3. This is in Bahasa, match merah, okay, to the shape. Here, this is a very simple, you are actually teaching them what? Colors. So these 2 parts of the car are red, the 2 parts of the umbrella are green. I like this. To teach children to sequence. Okay, so obviously if they don't sequence this well, you won't see a giraffe, isn't it? You won't see a giraffe, right? Okay, so this is 1 to 10, this is 1 to 5. This is 1 to 10. This is interesting. This, you actually have this paper here, okay, or laminated sheet. Then you laminate and cut this red ladybug or ladybird. British will call it ladybird. The Americans call it ladybug. So you notice that the child, there's no numbers here. What the child has to do is match the gray, okay, outline to the actual colored ladybird. This is called self-correcting. That means the child cannot make a mistake, just follow. Okay, you have 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 50. Okay, it goes to 100. Okay, sequencing. Okay, this is a story actually of the little red hen, and here she is baking bread. So they need to know, all right, which is first. So, all right, here again, sequencing. All right, which comes first? Large egg, cracked egg, edible egg. I like these cards because you figure out what the answer is, and you use what? Clothes peg to pick the answer. So there are 2 police cars here, so I'll put my peg here. Okay, only one bear, I'll put my pig here on one. All right. This also is interesting. The children are supposed to match to the shadows. This is very good for visual discrimination. We have children who actually can't see things properly. They don't see, they cannot focus properly. This kind of activity actually helps them. Okay, you can have opposites like this. Okay, laminated will be good. Or this one. You know what's the only problem with this one? This one I don't mind so much. I can just cut zigzag. This one is a bit difficult to cut. All right, but it is possible. Play-doh mats for shapes. So they use the Play-Doh to make the shape. Below, there are 8 objects, 8 little pictures. They are supposed to put this green circle on top of the objects that are square or triangle. And then this, use your ice cream sticks. They call them popsicle sticks. Okay. Here, printable, like you have A, and then they use, what do you call that? Play-Doh. Okay. These are numbers, or this number. This one I like. The 10 frame is here. So for example, 5, right? So I must put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must put an object into 5 boxes on the frame. 1, so 1 apple. This one 5 apples. Teach them emotions. Okay. Then this is quite interesting. This is, you get all these Play-Doh mats with that, a blank face. And this one says worried. So the children are supposed to take the Play-Doh and make a worried face. What will the mouth look like? It actually helps them not to actually figure out and to try and think, now, what is angry like? They must think. So they're actually getting the detail. I love my chopstick pula. What is it called that? Wooden pegs. So you, on this cardboard, there are numbers 1, A to Z, and then you have this A to, okay, A to Z. This here actually is all small letters. They are matching small letter to small letter. You can actually have another set where you what's that called? You can have another set of wooden pegs where you put capital A, B, C on it. Okay, prepare the materials, put in the box, pattern, and then the child's supposed to what? Follow the pattern, make. All right. Again, this is a Daiso punya tray, like a baking pan or sheet pan. This is the picture, and then here what has been done is the squares have been drawn with permanent marker. Okay, right? You can use these small unifix, or you can use larger pieces of Lego to arrange. Okay, here 4 different ways of showing number 4. Now number your fingers and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and here is actually continuing linked to this. They are supposed to use the clips. All right. Again, the clips. Now this is 2 blue, 2 green, and 2 red. Rainbow color, rainbow here, and then put the rainbow on the what's that? Pigs. You all know Lego, and you know Duplo. Okay, these are actually Duplo. This is called Megalod, the Duplo. All right. What the teacher has done is turn it the other way around so you can see all the holes there. And then the children will use this tweezer, okay, to sort out all the different colors. Here again, use the tweezer, okay, and sort out the colors in the bowls. Right, sort the buttons according to color. Now this is interesting. This is actually pasta. Okay, this is pasta. So what you do is that you have this pasta board, and then you got these colors, so you follow blue, yellow, red, white, green, following the pattern. Use shoelace. All right, I'm just showing you very quickly. Again, you've got letter H, and then there's capital H and capital O and T. So the child, every time the child identifies an H peg, this paper spoon, put the number of dots, and then the children will click accordingly. This is another one whereby there is a guide. So it's again self-correcting. I love this. You know what you use to tie your hair? You all can buy the colorful ones. So you buy that and go and put on your finger. You show them this and they have to put on their finger. Okay? It can be quite fun. And it's cheap. So remember, you want to do this, you need to put in the box your hair those bands plus this paper. All right. Let me see anything else. These I don't think. This is a muffin pan from Daiso. These are cups you can easily buy. All right. I love this. It is homemade. This is a board. And what they've done is that they have removed the, what do you call that? The cap from all the UHT Dutch lady bottles. Then what they do is they super glue, or they use, what's that called? Not super glue. The rubber. I don't know how to. Okay, so they use the, what is that called? Glue gun. All right, to glue it down. And then they wrote the numbers using permanent ink on the caps. And the child has to twist it. Okay, good movement, fine motor skill. Right, you can go and use Lego to build this. All right, now this piece is important. You have children who got problem with visual skills. Okay, they don't have the depth perception. So you see, if you are going to use this, the red square is on top, the blue is below, and the yellow is below the blue. Some of the children cannot follow this. Okay, so this is very good exercise. And finally, questions and answers. Thank you. I had to go through at top speed. All right. Any questions, please do ask. Venjin says that if a child is born on the 1st of January, they must join, okay, the 31st January group. And then, yes, correct. Children born between January 2nd to 15 may apply for 1 year early entry, which I do not, what's the word called? I do not recommend. Okay, question. We received some questions. Come. Yep. How and what type of resources are suitable for children with special needs? From what I've shown you, I think you see that simple things can be used. Okay, we don't have to go and buy expensive ones, like say from Toys R Us or Mati. So what you do is you can make your own. I've given some ideas. I will also be uploading over the weekend. I will be uploading some what do you call this, printable tasks for you, so they can write the task and then gather the supplies. Okay, is there a link where we can get if you were to type in special needs teaching resource and you see the prices in US dollars, all right, it is there. If the school has the like the international school, sometimes they actually invested in a lot of these expensive materials. All right. If you are from Penang, if there is a shop in Bukit Mertajam that sells teaching aids. There is a shop. If you want it, you want the contact, you will need to. Rosalind, can you remind me to put the contact on the WhatsApp group? The Google Classroom. Okay. Next. In terms of activities, how should an activity be conducted for children with special needs? Generally speaking, the children with special needs will need a place that is a little bit quieter. Okay? And they will do it individually at first. All right? So a quieter place, that means maybe, like I said, next to the teacher. All right? And you will have to modify other people, okay, their task box, they have to do 10 items. This child, maybe it's 5 items. Okay. Then what you also need to do actually is, for children with special needs, each of them you have one sheet. Okay. And then you note what were the activities the child did that day. Okay. The other thing is, for children with special needs, okay, do not rush them. Okay. They actually process a bit slower, and you may need to guide. Okay, so just say we are doing a task with the pom-poms. Okay, in the beginning, I will open the task box and I'll put the things up. These are the bowls. Yeah, how many bowls are that? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 bowls. And what are these in this bag? Oh, they are pom-poms. Look. Okay, I am going to put the pom-poms here. And then what you do is you put the red pom-poms in this red bowl, the yellow pom-poms in this, yes, yellow bowl. Okay, the blue pom-poms should go into the green bowl. Sorry, the blue pom-pom should go into the blue bowl and the green pom-pom into the green bowl. Very good. You are, okay? Now, you use this tweezer. Come, let me show you. Remember we did this last week? Yeah, that's right. You hold on top. Okay, then. Can you choose a pom-pom? You just put the red pom-pom in the red bowl. Can you see? What's this? What color? Red. Good, that's red. Okay, I'll go around. So the first time I will have to actually be with the child until the child has actually done, 5, 6 times on his or her own. I mean, she has done 5 or 6 rounds times with me there coaching her. All right, then what I do is, okay, look, there's some more pom-poms there. Can you put the pom-poms into the different colored bowls? Right? I will go and have a look and see what the girls are doing. Then I will come back. Okay? You reassure them you're coming back. Right? So the next day you want to repeat this. Okay? Depending on the child, you may have to introduce it all over again. Okay? The third day, okay. Where are the pom-poms? In the box. You sure? Okay, you go get them. Oh, you are right. Come on, high five. You found the pom-poms. Okay. What are you going to do? Pom-pom in bowl. Excellent. Okay, you're going to put the pom-poms in the bowl? Are you going to put the pom-poms in any bowl? No. Then, okay, it's something to do with color. Remember? Okay, tell me. Yes. Red pom-pom, red bowl. Blue pom-pom. Okay. I'll go and check the students. I'll come back. Okay? So the child should be able to remember more, okay, as time goes by. If you are doing this for 2 weeks and you still have a problem, the child still cannot remember, then maybe what you need to do now is move back. Move back means the next time she puts the pom-poms in, you only put 2 colors. Then you find that, 2 colors, no problem. Then the next day, you put in 3 colors. Okay? So you go down actually to the child's level, and then you bring the child up with you. So Natia is like, why so stupid? Color so you don't know? If she doesn't know no colors, then you won't have a job, isn't it? Okay. Next. Number 3, how much time is allocated for an activity for children with special needs? It depends on them. Obviously, from what I just showed you in the beginning, the first time I introduced her the pom-pom, it's going to take a much longer time, right? Because I actually went with her. Okay, this is a yellow bowl, so which pom-pom do you put in? Yellow, which is yellow. Okay. Ah, okay, tell you what. You take a pom-pom in the tweezer, and then now you put it next to the yellow bowl. Does it look the same? This is not yellow. Okay, I think this is blue. Okay, go and bring it on. So you actually may have to tell them to bring one color at a time to match, see whether it's right. All right, just remember that your voice should sound like pleasant, not irritated. And when the child does something right, great job, you learned the different colors. Okay, oh, wonderful, you sort the pom-pom so well. I like the way you hold the yellow tweezers. Think of something like this. All right, so time definitely will depend on the child's cognitive development, okay, as well as what? Fine motor skills and all that. So I find that she cannot hold the tweezer, take away the tweezer, use your finger. All right. Next. Wait, 1 minute. Maybe what we need to do is this. Other children can do 4 activities. Your special needs will do 2. All right. It may have to be like that. Yeah. Next. What type of resources are suitable for children with special needs? Worksheets are not suitable for children with special needs. Okay? Ask you this, which is easier, to try and write C-A-T, or to get plastic letters and put C-A-T? C-A-T easier, right? Okay, so in the beginning, if the children have difficulty with handwriting, okay, don't write first. Get them to do the what? The pre-writing. Yeah, and then get them to use letters, plastic letters, or the wooden Scrabble tiles, which you can get from Lazada. The wooden Scrabble tiles from Lazada, they have a bag of capital letters. They also have a separate bag of small letters. That's why I love it so much. Okay, so resources, actually anything that you can make into an activity is fine. Okay, so just think of one of the things that you can do is this. Look at the worksheets that you are using. So instead of using 4 worksheets, okay, tell yourself, I'm only going to use 1 worksheet, and that 1 worksheet will be a review of what the children have learned while they did their tasks, their task boxes. Right? Then the other 3 worksheets, you look at it and try and figure out how you can convert that into an activity. Can be done. Yeah. Next. Children with special needs come with different needs. How should the teacher organize activities for them? Okay. One thing that you can actually make life easier is everybody is doing the same sort of like topic. So if they are all doing, okay, colors, they're all doing colors, okay, what can happen is this. You can have a simpler activity with one of the children, and the activity is what? You know that yellow card, and then you clip around all the yellow pegs. So one could be that. Another color activity will be take the yellow pom-poms and put into the box. Okay. Another color activity, match your ice cream sticks. Okay. Higher level children, all right, they have yellow cups, and then, all right, there are cards, color cards, yellow, green, purple. So what they do is that they put the what do you call it? They put the cup, they line the cup up on the desk. They take the strips, and they labels, and they put it. That's a high level. But you look at it, all of them are doing colors. Yeah. Right, next. Do autistic children need to improve soft motor and gross motor skills? Fine, soft is fine motor. Okay. All right. All children, whether autistic or not autistic, all of them need to develop their fine motor skills and their gross motor skills. Fine motor skills are very important, especially when it comes time to learn how to write. Other fine motor skills that are important will be, they need to strengthen their fingers also to do and undo their buttons and all that. So yes, we need to improve fine motor skills. Very important. We will also need to improve gross motor skills because we want the children to be able to jump. Okay? They are able to catch the ball, able to run. So all that, yes. So it is important, I repeat, for all children to improve motor skills. Okay? Fine and gross motor skills, a lot of the activities I showed earlier use soft motor skills. Gross motor skills, I didn't do today because I was focusing on the task boxes. All right, I can perhaps do it another day. Next, how to improve an autistic child's speech. One thing is the repeat 3 times, right? Basically, if the child doesn't talk, okay, you're not going to focus on trying to teach them long sentence. Datin, Indranee, may I go to the toilet, please? Very long, Okay. If you keep telling the child that, you know what happens again? The child actually doesn't know which is the most important word. The most important word is toilet. So you say toilet, toilet, okay? Toilet. Yeah. Want to go to the toilet. So you say toilet, toilet, toilet. The child hears it. If you keep doing this, after a few weeks, the child will actually have learned some of the main words. So you focus on basic communication. Cookie. Okay. You want to eat a cookie? Okay. Cookie. 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 Here's your cookie. Okay. Do you want to drink water? Okay. You want to drink water? Water. Water. Okay. Right. Come out. So I take her over to the water dispenser. So just remember whichever is the most important word, just say 3 times. Okay, say it 3 times. Yeah. By the way, I said say it 3 times. I did not say shout it 3 times. So there's no need to shout. All right, unless you think that the child has a hearing disability. Now, once the child knows some of these words and all that, okay, then you start with this. Drink water. Drink water. Okay, now you're putting 2 words together. Okay, right, next. How to teach an autistic child to write. She doesn't like to hold pencils. Okay. Will she play with Play-Doh? So you start with that. Okay. Then what you do is you need to go and find what you then do is you go and find something that is maybe a thick, bigger, what do you got, pencil, the jumbo pencil. Okay, and what the child does is that with the jumbo pencil, you get the child to what? Put holes in it. Poke holes in it. Yeah. And then what you can say is, let's plant some seeds. Okay, first you need holes. All right, so now she's holding, okay, the pencil, but she's not writing. Okay, then take the jumbo pencil and do rolling, the dough. Okay, the dough. All right. What else can you do? Pencils can also be used. Okay. You give her several. All right. You give her several. And what you do is that you can actually put sticker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say give her 5 or him 5 pencils. Then you got in front of you, you've got 3 plastic containers or the long basket, and you put the same number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what's the child supposed to do? Oh, this is 1, I must put it into the basket. So what that actually they're doing is you are trying to show the child that, hey, pencils are not so horrible after all. A lot of children have actually been traumatized by handwriting, always kena marah and all that, ask them to rub. So they don't want to do it. All right, so play with it. Think of some way to play. Then you go to your salt tray or sand tray. Okay, you get her to use a finger to do some ABC, whatever. After that, the next day, okay, do the finger. Then you say, now you hold, okay, and write the same letter. So 1 letter with your finger and 1 letter with the jumbo pencil. So now you see, I'm linking now the pencil to writing, right? Then, all right, what you can do is, you remember I showed the what is it? The Play-Doh mats with the letter A, B, C. Oh, you have that? Okay. Now you get our girl to use the Play-Doh and make the A, make the snake, then make the A, B, C. Okay. Remove that. You use a marker pen. Ask her to write the marker pen on the A, the B, the C on laminated card. Then the next thing is, teach the child to write their name. Please, you need to think of a short name, okay? Because some kids, especially kids, Indian children like me, have extremely long names. My name is about 30 characters, okay? So teach them, you show them how to write their name. Usually children are very excited. And then you tell them, okay, they've written. They've actually done with marker pen. You even got them to do their name with what's it called? With the Play-Doh. Okay. Then take photo, send to mommy. You go and tell mommy, okay, and ask her to show you the photo. Okay. You can write your name. So basically, you need to be quite good at dramaing. Okay. Must have Okay. I think if I were an actress, I would have won an Oscar by now, or maybe 2 or 3. You just have to act. So make it fun. Whatever the child doesn't like doing, okay, try and make it fun. Okay. Next. Okay, they'll get the 6 or 7 to 7-year-old child diagnosed. My child has special needs, but parents, doctors said the tests were inconclusive and they brought if your child is 6 to 7 years old now, and you brought a few years ago, that means you bought the child when they're 3 to 4 years old, usually the doctors will not diagnose. Okay, the doctors will not diagnose. But now at this age can be sent back for diagnosis. So this child walks around the class. I've frequently asked him to sit down. He misses social cues, does not react within the expected norm. There was once he shouted in the class when I asked him whether he was angry or sad. He said no. When I asked whether he was happy, he said yes. There was another time when the music was loud. The rest of the class were excited and enjoying themselves, but he screamed. I brought him out of the classroom and found it was true. Yeah, looking at his behavior, I think he does have autism. Okay, you may want to tell your parents to get the child diagnosed because this is going to help. The diagnosis will help the child because later on, they can ask with the OKU card, OKU Masalah Pembelajaran, with that card, okay, they can ask, for example, longer time for the exams and all that. All right. With the OKU card, by the way, a child can delay entry to year 1. okay, by 2 years. So that means the child you keep back in kindergarten, or all right, for another year, so that they can actually what? Really learn. They have good foundation in literacy and numeracy. Then they enter year 1. So they can enter year 1 when they're 8 years old. Maximum when they're 9 years old. Okay, can be done. Missing social cues. Okay, so basically now you need to teach him. I will be doing social and emotional learning during the next 2 talks. So I actually do teach this there. All right. Yeah, he's up, he's happy, he shouts, music up. A lot of the children with special needs have problem with the noise and sound. Okay, like I said just now, the child can actually hear the fan, the rest of us don't notice. Yeah. Maybe what you need to do is, all right, get him to sit next to you. And I think if you give him, actually you can give the whole class, all right, those task boxes, those activities to do, I think it will help. Right? Social cues, like I said, you have to teach. And I will do some training on that. You need to ask the parents whether there is anyone who is in their area who is doing therapy for children with special needs, because one of the therapy they can do is actually to teach them social skills. Okay, social skills. How is his academic work? If his academic work is okay, then you just focus on behavior. All right. But if this child is not taught social skills and appropriate behavior, he's going to find it more difficult as he goes to higher and higher levels in school. Any other questions?
Yes.
How to teach in class with normal and special kids. Okay. Remember this, huh? You should not be teaching students that need modification of teaching and learning. Okay? It's beyond that really needs teachers who are specially trained in special needs. So when you are in our class, if we do have special needs kids, all right, these are the kids who can learn, but they need accommodation. Can learn, but they need accommodation. Can learn, but they need you to repeat many more times. Other children, 2 times boleh. This one maybe 6 times, 8 times, 10 times. Okay, so what you do actually is, when you're singing songs in the morning for circle time, everybody can join in. Okay, you ask them, all right, to bring their special toy to show the class. Our child can do that. Now, if you ask them to do show and tell to bring the special toy, may I suggest that you don't ask the whole class. You just ask 2 children to bring their special toys per day. Okay, and then after they have done the show and tell, you tell those kids, let me keep your toys here for you. Because if not, there may be World War III when other children want to grab. Okay, so must sit next to you, or if you have got some special children who are very distractible and all that, they're staring at the toy, I suggest you put it in your bag or in the drawer. Okay, so then after that, okay, you want to do numbers. Okay, you want to do numbers. So you teach them, maybe you're going to sing a song and all that, everybody learns. Then after that, they're going to practice numbers, so they're going to need their task boxes. This is where you will differentiate. Okay, other children maybe doing 1 to 10, even 1 to 20. Now this child could be just 1 to 5. So he will be slower. Okay, but he is doing the same lesson, same topic, literacy. Okay, 1 to 20, he's doing 1 to 5. Okay, generally speaking, even for so-called normal or regular kids, anytime there's a worksheet, okay, you will see actually usually the atmosphere a bit turun dah, okay, because they do worksheet, right? So I think you will be quite happy to know that by creating all these activities and task boxes, all the children can. Whatever can be used by a special child to learn can definitely, all right, help the regular children as well. Okay. One more thing about special needs, they will need a bit more time. So there you are, alamak, you have circle time. Ayo, got numeracy. Ayo, mak, then got literacy. And then break. And then, oh, got art and all that. You may, okay. So what you may actually do is this. You may decide, because the child needs more time, and that the child will do, all right, one activity only for numeracy. I can repeat it twice. Okay. Then it's already time for the others to do literacy. Then you change to another 1 or 2 literacy activities. So that special child doesn't have to do all the 5 or 6 activities, just 1 or 2 at a time, depending on his ability and his speed. All right. So as far as you can, try to keep the special child doing the same topic. Any other questions? I will take questions now verbally. If you want to ask, no problem.
Okay, Datin,
Yeah.
you suggested having a merit chart to reward the children with stars, right?
Yeah.
So this very, very hyperactive autistic child in the class keeps removing the stars. So when I went there, I said, hey, what happened to all the stars? Then the teacher said he removed all of them. Nobody is supposed to get any star, including the stars that were given to him. He removed. So his friend also removed. So I said, put the chart higher. So what to do? How to help him?
Okay.
To reconcile.
Number 1 is, why does he remove stars? Nobody is entitled to stars. This is something that happened at home. One thing I need to tell you, this is very important. Once you have rewarded 1 star for the child's good behavior, then after that, he doesn't behave so well, you cannot take the star away. Because that star was awarded for something that he did do well. So what you do is, you don't give the next star. Okay? Now, so what has happened a lot of times is that teachers and parents, and I don't know whether that's what's happening is in his house, is that the parents remove the stars or tell him that he doesn't deserve stars. So now what we need, yeah.
The teacher did not remove the stars when he misbehaved. Yeah.
No, I'm saying at home.
Okay.
This may have happened because it's very unusual for the child to remove, including his own. So what you could actually do is, okay, you got a choice. You can actually change the mode, okay, of reward. All right, which means now, instead of using stars, we use something else. Example, what I've done before is, you know your colorful, apa nama ni? Colorful ice cream sticks, right? So what I did was, in England, I had 19 children in year 1. So I had actually 19 cups, okay, 19 cups with their names or labeled. Every time the child did something well, I'll ask the child to come up, give the child a, what do you call that, the ice cream stick, and they'll put it into their cup with the name. So at the end, we count the number of sticks. This will be different from stars. All right. another way of dealing with it will be you work on class behavior overall first, not on individual. Okay, so you can do it this way. You can use the stick again or use something else. In England, this was done with year 4 class. Okay, I tell you what, the year 4 class, there was a boy who is a traveler child. I said, what? Traveler is gypsy. So they still move from town to town. So there was this boy who was a gypsy. And if he wants to, he'll snatch. If he wants to, he'll just run out of the classroom. And I, as a teacher, was told specifically, do not grab him. You can't. Because if the parent complains, all right, you will be sacked. So you know what I was doing with the boy? He wants to run out. You know the chicken and the what? The chicken and the eagle. No, trying to stop him from going up. Of course, he ran out. Then the class had a telephone had to go and call the office. They're going to look for him. So what he then did was, we decided to do a class reward instead of an individual reward. Because if you do an individual reward, our friend, the boy, the gypsy boy, will get nothing, isn't it? So when this glass bowl is full, then the whole class gets, okay, free time. Okay, then told them your free time will be 20 minutes free time. Wow, happiness. Okay, so children answered correctly. I will put some marbles in. Okay, one girl, okay, one boy, okay, helped another girl to pick up something. I give. So anything that the children did which was good, whether it's social, academic, so on. Okay, so then you see what happened was the children started talking to the boy. Right? You know, we all want to get, all right, we want to make sure that we all get the marbles. We to fill up the container with the marbles because over there, there's some very interesting games there, which the teachers will never give to us unless, okay, we've been very good. So, all right, so can you be very good? And then after that, you can play these toys. Wow, they were telling him, I'm happy. So, okay, so whole class, you may want to do that first, not individual, whole class. Then after that, you can do whole class and individual with your ice cream sticks. I don't want to use the stars because he seems to have a problem with the stars. When he's okay already after all these ice cream sticks and all these marble jar and all that for the whole class behavior, then after that, you may want to restart your stars. Okay? I hope that sort of answers your question.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah. Questions?
Hi, Datin.
Yeah.
I would like to ask about, do you have any tips for dealing with autism-related aggression? Like they are very aggressive sometimes. Like any way to tackle about it? Thank
How
you.
old?
It's about 7.
When did he join the school?
It seems like 1 or 2 years.
Has he always been like that since he's joined?
No, like easily triggered by like people talking or
Okay.
something that he doesn't want to do.
Okay, for triggered by people talking, it's just the noise, or he actually hears, he's upset with the words.
I think it's the words. Upset with the words.
Okay, what are the words he's upset by?
Like asking him to do work, do his like worksheets or some activities. Yeah.
Okay, your worksheets, is he able to write clearly? At least he can read now.
Yeah, he can write and can read properly.
He just doesn't want to do the work.
Yeah.
How is he with activities? And what kind of activities are big group activities or like the ones that I introduced just now?
Even like some sort of like worksheet or sometimes is some experiment as well, and he will like easily triggered like, by people around him.
Your child, if he's, that means what you're saying is that during the science experiment, all the children stand around, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's like one person, like 3 person in one group, like that. Also,
No, one thing is that if he gets upset when there are few people around, it could be that he has an issue with personal space.
I see.
Okay. So generally, we teach all children that they stand 1 arm's length. The hand is on 1 arm's length. Okay. That's one thing. All right. Then another thing you can do is whatever activity like you're going to do, you can actually ask this boy to come and say that, okay, I would like you to help me to set up this activity. That may help. Okay. If he doesn't want to help, the next thing you say, oh, can you come here? Okay. I want you to stand here to see the activity. Right. The other thing is give more activities and less worksheets, especially when this boy actually can write properly, okay, and can write sentences, then give more activities. That usually will help. Because a number of the children with special needs actually are very smart, either in language or in maths or something. So for them, it could be that it's just boring. Okay, so give something else. Does he like to read?
Yeah, he reads very well. All the
In that case,
yeah.
actually, our poor boy may be bored. So you need to give you so what I'm trying to say is that some of our ASD children and autistic spectrum disorder children are actually gifted in a particular area. So they get very irritated by all the small kiddie stuff. So maybe what you can actually do is to get some materials or get the parents to give some books and all that he can, use. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Understand.
Okay. Just want to say this. I actually find that the fact that you all are actually trying to teach children with autism and children with ADHD, actually, it's amazing. I know it's not easy to teach them. Okay? So, don't beat yourself up saying that, he won't learn. Okay, I'm a bad teacher. No, it's not true. It's that they need a different style of teaching and learning. All right? And your task boxes, right? You train the children, once they have finished, they're going to put everything back in the box.
Datin,
Yes.
can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Yeah, I have another kid that he is a bit like cannot sit still. We haven't suggest to go for pursue any like diagnosis, but we realized that he can't like even 1 minute. In his age is about 7 years old. Cannot sit down for longer than 1 or 2 minutes, and then he do things very fast. Actually, it's no problem in learning, but some kind of memorize of some of the words spelling is quite hard for him. Yeah.
Okay. This child, if he cannot sit, the parents have to take him to see a pediatrician or a child psychiatrist. Unless what you want to try is this. He comes to school, you ask the parents to go and run around or do some exercises, then when he comes into the classroom. Then you see whether he calms down, he can sit down. If he can, then what we'll have to do is keep getting him to run around. Okay? Or in the class, get everybody to do jumping jack. Exercise good for everybody. All right? So the idea is this. Usually, if you can get them to use up the energy, they're able to sit at least for some time. Okay? But because you're saying that even 1 minute so is a problem, but try their exercising first. Then the other thing is interesting activities. Okay. Now, for a child with ADHD, all right, likes to move, right? What you actually can do is you get a ball, you throw, whoever throws the ball will have to shout out, say a letter, say M. Then that child will throw the ball to the other child. That child has to name something that starts with M. So they're all, like, so this boy can participate. Another thing you can actually do is you get this boy to be in charge of an activity. So they focus, for example, bowling. I get my teachers, we collect the, 1.5 liter Coca-Cola plastic bottles. We remove the tag, okay? We put a little bit of water inside, so it's a bit heavy. Then we put a number on it, say 5. And the other, so you have 1 until, say, 20. So then you take a ball and you roll. Okay, then the children will count the points. If the child wrote 3 plus 2 plus plus 4, it will be 9. Okay, so what you do is you put him in charge at the other end. He must arrange the what you call it, the bowling pin, the plastic bottles back. Okay, that is one way. Yeah.
Datin, I have one question regarding the autistic child. If he starts acting out and he's lying on the floor and screaming, what can we as teachers do? Because he doesn't respond to our instructions anymore. So what can we do?
When they're like that. Okay. Number 1, what happens just before he starts screaming and rolling on the floor?
It's worksheet doing the classwork. Yes.
Okay. Is he able to write ABC properly?
Yes, he can write very well.
Okay, so the trigger is worksheet. Yeah, okay. Just now I was talking about accommodation and modification. So how can you accommodate? He doesn't want to do the worksheet. What is another way when you can check whether or not he knows the information required in the worksheet? Without him doing the worksheet, what else can you do?
Like, what else can he do? He can answer. He can answer orally.
Okay, good. By the way, how old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Okay, yeah, you can get him to answer orally, can?
Okay, so that means he's already very stressed out.
Yeah.
I see.
I don't know, a number of autistic children, even regular children, worksheets are like monsters to them, A lot, yeah. Okay, so the other thing you can actually do is give those task cards.
I see.
See, if you want him to what do you call that? If you want him to arrange 1 to 20, okay. If you're doing on the worksheet, you have to probably write 1, 2, 3. What if you were to give him cards with the numbers and you get him to arrange? If he can arrange it correctly, he knows.
Okay.
Then what you do is you must have a clipboard with a report for this child. So every time something happens, you just put like at this time what happened, what did you do? Okay. Then another one, if he doesn't want to write the answer on the worksheet, what about writing the answer in a salt tray? You can write the answer there.
This autistic child doesn't talk. How do you start teaching, for parents lah? How do you start teaching the child to speak?
How old is the child now?
7.
He doesn't speak.
But he can understand instructions. He understands instructions. Just that he doesn't speak.
Okay. Give him
He used to speak when he was young. is it regressive, and what is regressive autism like?
I hope not, because that's very terrible. The regressive one, the child will grow until say 6, 7 years old, stop growing here, the body will grow, this one stops growing, and then he goes backwards, so he behaves like a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, up to back all the way to a baby. Very difficult for the parents to see that. Okay. Children who don't want to talk, okay, and I mean the boy is really what, 7, 8 years old. You can give little cards, you know, he uses the cards to tell you. You can also use, wait, let me try and find it. All right. I'm now looking at augmentative and alternative communication, AAC. Okay. AAC, yeah. And then here it says, what is AAC? Augmentative and alternative communication, AAC, refers to the use of object, symbols, charts, photographs, signing, and electronic aids to help a child to communicate. So now what is happening is that, let me show you. They have it on, they have it as an app. You can put it on your phone and your computer and all that. Are there? These are not computers lah. These are, you know, so they press. What is it they want to tell you? They will press. You see this, Shah? Yeah. You can also get on your phone. This is on a tablet. Yeah. So just go and type in AAC, augmentative and what? Augmentative and alternative communication. Okay, up there. Okay, this will probably help. And you know what has happened before? Once you start all these pictures, the child realizes that when he presses something, you understand. It means the child is able to communicate. After a while, the children start talking.
Yeah, okay.
So there are some free AAC programs online. Yeah. Yeah, there. We're talking about apps. This is a system, this non-verbal boards. Okay. Try and download one that's free. So you type in augmentative and alternative communication, AAC, free app, and see what you get. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very happy to see you all, and I look forward to sharing more with you next month. Thank you and God bless.